They don't know what time it is. Good whenever I decide what time it is. Good afternoon everyone, Lee Whittaker here from Lee Whittaker Golf and usual backdrop down at the simulator, and today I'm doing another club review, and today it is the RS10 MB. So if you've seen the club review I did last week, that was for the CB, which is the cavity back. This week it's the MB, which is the muscle back. In essence, they're very much similar clubs, and as in they're made from the same thing, by the same company, same steel, same everything. So if you want to see what all that spiel is, head on over to the other review. But in essence, it's S25 Japanese carbon steel. And the main difference between this one and this one, apart from the centre of gravity at the bottom, is the sole is completely tiny in comparison, and the club itself is a lot smaller than the CB. So what does this say to me? It says to me it's for someone who's good at golf, in essence. The club head is tiny. It has the look of a blade, but not quite as bladey as a blade, if that makes sense. The top line is very, very thin, but it's not as thin as some of the blades by like Titleist and that. In reality, looking down at it, I think the top line might even be thicker than the CB. Certainly looks that way, but it's the actual profile of the club being so small, the head being so small, sort of this way. It definitely promotes someone of a lower handicap to scratch. I certainly wouldn't recommend this for a high handicapper because it's just going to give you so little margin for error on the club face. So the RS10 MB by Orka comes 3-2 pitching wedge. The 3 iron is 21 degrees, pitching wedge is 48 degrees, and the 7 iron, which is what we use as a comparison across most of them, comes in 36 degrees. So they're very traditionally lofted compared to some of the other clubs around, but when you compare it to some of the other companies' blades, they're more or less there or thereabout, because blades tend to be more fairly lofted than some of the more game improvement irons, where they crank the loft up and put a load of technology in. This has absolutely no technology whatsoever. It is literally a forged piece of metal, just like the CB, but the centre of gravity is a lot lower on this because it's obviously got the muscle back part in here, whereas the CB has got a cutout, so the weight is more heel-toe on the CB, and the centre of gravity is raised slightly. On the MB, it's just evenly distributed across the sole of the club, so it'll probably promote for me a higher ball flight, and the reason I didn't go for it is it's going to spin a lot more than the CB would. So yeah, like I said, it's made from Japanese S25 carbon steel. It's milled from a single piece of metal, and it is quad forged just like the CB is, to sort of get rid of all the imperfections within the metal, and make sure that it is just one of the best looking irons you're probably likely to see. It is just phenomenal looking club in every aspect. I say the sole is really small. Certainly not something I'd game because of the way it looks. I'm not good enough to use it, but there's only one way to test it, and that's to test it on the simulator, and we can compare it against the CB, which I did last week. As with the CB, the shaft I'll use is the NH9 Pro Stiff, so the comparison will be accurate across the whole range of Orka irons that I do, so it will be the same shaft. If I was going to get fit with this, would this be the shaft I'd get fitted with? Who knows? Unlikely. I'd probably need something to bring the spin down, but in the interest of fairness, to show the difference in spin across all the irons, I'll use exactly the same shaft in all the irons. Right, so we've got it set up with the shaft in. Let's hit 10 shots down the simulator and look at the numbers on completion, and let's see if we can compare it to what happened with the CB. What do I think? I'm going to get more spin and less distance. If I'm a guessing man, there's only one way to find out. First thing I'll say looking down at this club is it's absolutely tiny. Yeah, this just doesn't even remotely scream forgiveness at all. I won't be surprised if there's a few shanks in this or even some toe balls, but let's hit 10 shots, let's see what we get. Actually nice and straight, spin at 6.4, actually not too bad. So that's 10 shots with that club, and yeah, my worst fears came to light. It's just so inconsistent for me. It's definitely a ball striker's club, a player's club, someone who can hit it pure all the time. I mean, if we just take a quick look at the dispersion, yeah, you just take a look at this dispersion, it is all over the place. This high left, low spinning, whatever you want to call it, was just too apparent. I think 5 out of the 10 shots were out there. I think I hit 2 decent shots out of it. The rest of them were quite high, some out to the right, just for dispersion compared to the other club. For me, this is definitely not the right club. Right, numbers wise, let's just quick look at the average. So the average ball speed was 107. Launch angle was 27. I think that was quite similar. Spin was down, but that was because of the low spinning left. Massive hooks. Carry 143, total 153, pretty similar to the CB, but if we show all the details, you know, the first strike was probably my best one, 6004 spin, possibly the third one 6.9, but the inconsistencies are, it goes from 2.4 all the way up to 8.9. Distances carrying from 131 to 156 down the bottom. It's just not the club for me, unfortunately. You need to be a pure ball striker to be using this club. I'm certainly not that person, which is why I've gone for the CB. Now, in the interest of fairness, I'm going to test the playability of this club, see if I can draw it and fade it at will. Looking at that, who knows? I can't even hit it straight at will, but we'll give it a go in the interest of fairness, because that's what we did with the other club, and let's see how we get on. So like before, I'm going to try and draw it off the right onto target and see how easy it is to do with this club compared to the other one. Yeah, so started that out to the right. Didn't really draw it, so it started to draw, but it's pretty much on target of where I was aiming. Let's give that another go, see if we can do it. But all in all, good strike, good spin numbers, just poorly executed. Let's give it another go, see if we can bring it round. So this time spins at 6.5, which is perfect, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. Started right at target, and arguably landed just onto the spot. So draw wise, easy. See if we can fade it now. Do the complete opposite. That one's got to fade. There it is. So this dark line here, started left of target, landed just right of target, quite high spinning, but it did it. So playability wise, it took me an extra shot than the CB, but that's clearly down to me, not the club. But I can draw it, I can fade it, absolutely no issues with that. Arguably I hit it better than when I was trying to hit it straight, when I was trying to draw it round, so maybe that's telling me something. Let's try and hit one out the toe. I'm not going to try and hit one out the heel because last time we just shanked it. So let's try and hit one out the toe, see what kind of distance we get, whether we lose any. Average was 143, try and hit it straight. Let's hit one out the toe, see what we get. Right, so this time I'm going to try and hit one right out the toe. Right, so this time I'm going to try and hit one right out the toe and see what kind of distance we get, if we lose any, or whether it just has a consistent speed over the face like the other club. That shot was awful. Not out the toe, just bad delivery on that one. All right, toe ball. Can we get more toey than that? Yeah, that one, slight mark out of here. So toe ball 138, total 144, again a drop of 5 yards compared to my average, but in essence, as it proclaims, it's a consistent feel and consistent distance over the face. That one was right out the toe. Okay, so there's my review of the RS10 MB. In a nutshell, what do I think? I think it's too good for me, if I'm being honest. I can hit it well, but I can't hit it consistently well. That's down to me being a 15 handicap. Para. She's like having one today. So that's down to me being a 15 handicap in essence. As I get better, I'll probably be able to use this a little bit more. But playability wise, I can draw it, I can fade it as I need to. Out the toe, I lost 5 yards off my average in total carry, so the consistency over the face is there, like Orka claim. And to look at, it is absolutely stunning. It just doesn't promote forgiveness. This is probably what I would say their most bladed iron for their lowest handicap people, for pure ball strikers. But give it a go. That's the beauty of an Orka fitting. You know, give it a go. You never know, it just could be the perfect club for you. Certainly not for me, which was why I was fitted into the CB. But in essence, another fantastic iron by Orka. Soft feeling, pure ball striking when you get it out the middle, and not a lot of distance lost when you don't hit it out the middle. And like anything, when you're getting a club fitting, make sure you go in there with the right expectations. You know, I was one of these guys years ago that went in, I wanted the best club, the best looking club. Didn't care whether I could use it. I've just proved to myself there that although the MB might possibly be the best looking club out of them all, and you know, it's arguably one of the best looking clubs I've seen, just doesn't work for me. And that's, if I'd have walked in and bought that off the shelf, I'd have spent the next year disappointed with my golf game. So when you go into an Orka fitting or any fitting, go in with the right expectations for your skill level, and pick the club that, or you should be picked the club with your fitter, the one that's right for you. Don't necessarily buy the one that looks the best. So I've been Lee Whitaker. This has been another review for me for the Orka RS10 MB. If you do like my reviews, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Please give this video a like, and comment. Let me know what you think of the reviews, what you think of Orka, what you think of this beautiful looking iron. And just in general, let's have a conversation about golf, shall we? But that's it for me. Look out for any future reviews that I'll be doing. I will be reviewing the whole Orka range at some point. But thanks very much. I'll speak to you again soon, and have a great rest of the weekend. Goodbye.